Hey guys, this is Caleb with Miles to the Max. I'm going to show you how to save a few bucks when booking international flights on Norwegian Airlines. The great part is their flights are very competitive and some of the cheapest to begin with. So if you can save a few more bucks, that's just really icing on the cake. So Norwegian Airlines flies from Oakland, Los Angeles, soon to be Fort Lauderdale, Boston, Baltimore, and New York City, JFK. They fly mainly to Norway, Oslo, Stockholm, and then I believe they also fly to Copenhagen quite frequently. They fly from Las Vegas as well. That's right, to Copenhagen. So how you can save a few bucks here is you actually book the flight using a separate currency. This is not a new trick by any means. It's sometimes, and depending on the currency, it doesn't always make sense to do so. But in this case, it will save you about 3 to 5% off the cost of the flight, which money's money. So there's some awesome deals right now. You can actually go Los Angeles to Paris. They're going to start late summer flying nonstop to Charles de Gaulle, Paris. $175 one way. That includes all your taxes, of course. You have to have a passport, but it takes about 2 months to get it, so you should have plenty of time if you're going to go in the fall. New York to Paris, same price. As you can see, it's kind of odd that they charge the same price for, this flight from New York and Los Angeles. One's way longer than the other, but that's just the way of the world, right? It doesn't always have to make sense, but either one's a good deal nonetheless. Going to fly from Fort Lauderdale as well to Paris. So the way that this works is basically, I'm going to show you a mock booking to begin with. We'll just go Los Angeles to Paris. Okay, we're just going to do a one-way example. The nice part with Norwegian is you can, get some good deals one way. Some airlines on international round trips, they force you to kind of, book a round trip with them. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. If you wanted to book your return from another country or city with another airline, you could totally do that. So I'm just choosing the low fare calendar here, September. This is from Los Angeles to Charles de Gaulle, Paris. And as you can see, they got $175 one ways. I can either fly on Saturday or Tuesday. Being that they don't fly, most of the days of the week, this is actually pretty common with budget carriers like this, especially on these routes that they're just trying out. They want to make sure the planes are going to fill up before they just start flying a plane every single day. So $175, good deal nonetheless. Let's look at how you can actually change the currency, which displays right up here, and save a few bucks. So in order to do that, just go back to your home screen here. And the very bottom right, you're going to see a language chooser. So actually choose this Norse, this Norwegian language, I'm assuming. And you can use Translate if you're using Google Chrome. A little pop-up's going to show right here. Just hit Translate. And as many things as it can convert over, it will, of course. But being that we already know how this interface works, we're going to just go right ahead, pretend we know the language. Okay, one way. Going to choose our date. Okay, September. Let's see the calendar. That's how you say calendar, apparently. And hit search and book. So now, as you can see, we got the same Los Angeles to Charles de Gaulle, Paris. Okay, and we're seeing this now in this Norwegian krone. Okay, that is the currency in Norway. And they're going to charge us 1,398 Norwegian krones rather than paying 175 US dollars. So the question is, does this make sense for the conversion? Okay, so in order to do that, just type in NOK to USD. That's going to show you the conversion here for US dollars to Norwegian krones. Just type in your 1398, and as you can see, it's only going to be $162 rather than the $175. Now, if you're spending more money, it's obviously going to even save you more since it's a ratio like that. And $162 from Los Angeles to Paris, that's just insanely cheap, considering that flight's going to be 10 hours. The great part with Norwegian Airlines is they're going to fly you on the brand new Boeing 787. So you get bigger windows, the seats are going to be a lot comfier. There's just going to be a lot more modern technology inside the planes, and the bathrooms won't be old and dated because you'll, of course, be using it on a 10-hour flight. So $160 one way. Return, you're going to pay a little bit more depending on the city that you return from in the country. With European countries flying back into the United States, they actually charge different what are called like duties fees. Basically, they charge you to come and visit. It's just a tourist tax nonetheless, and to fly out of their airports. So, for example, if you return from um, Paris in France, that country is actually going to charge you about $90 in customs fees. It's built into the ticket, so you'll notice that the same flight's going to be about $90 more on the return. That's because you're paying those fees. Now, if you return from a country like Spain or the Netherlands, which is where Amsterdam is, or you return from Portugal or Norway, their customs fees are a lot less. They're usually about $50 or $60, and that's per passenger. So your return flight's going to be a lot cheaper. One thing you could do, of course, is being that it's Norwegian Airlines, you could actually fly into Paris. Catch a short connecting flight at some point from Paris to either Stockholm or wherever you want to visit up in Norway, and then catch your complete final leg home from Stockholm to Los Angeles or Oakland or wherever you're heading to. So that's kind of a cool thing as well. You'll save some money by returning from a cheaper country and paying less than duty fees. So $162 to actually book that way. Basically, the catch here is that you need to make sure that the credit card you're paying with when you're using the currency NOK or the Nord or whatever it's called, is that you're using a credit card that does not charge foreign transaction fees, because you're actually going to be paying in the Norwegian krone. And when the statement actually posts for your credit card and you see the charge, you're going to see a charge that's going to be converted, and it's going to show about $162 on there. But it will show that it was a foreign currency that was converted for you. So just make sure that your credit card has no foreign transaction fee. If it doesn't, it's normally going to be about 3 to 4% your credit card company is going to charge you. Some cards that don't charge it are Chase Sapphire, Southwest Premier, Premier Rewards Gold Card by American Express. There's a number of cards. I think the Discover It doesn't charge foreign transaction fees. Don't quote me on that. I don't use Discover cards. But nonetheless, make sure you don't pay that. Otherwise, it basically would negate any savings that you had. So, if you can save $13 on the way there and you can save about $20 on the way back, you're saving $30 or so per person, and that could pay for your seat assignment, or that could pay for a checked bag on the way there. One thing with Norwegian Airlines is they're a little more strict when it comes to baggage, so just keep that in mind when you are flying. Okay, they are going to let you bring 2 items, but of course you'll have to pay for a checked bag. And what they consider hand baggage is essentially like a purse or a backpack, and then you're also allowed one carry-on in addition to that. So just make sure you read the details, know what you're bringing on. Okay, so you're allowed one carry-on bag and one small personal item. This is going to be your purse or backpack or small briefcase. And then you also get to bring a carry-on bag, which you can see is 10 kilograms. That's 23 pounds roughly. And this 55 by 40 by 23, that's more or less, I believe that's about 16 by 13 by 9 roughly. So just keep that in mind. This is your bigger bag you're allowed on. And then, of course, you're also allowed a small bag. So if you can't pack light, know that you're going to have to pay a little bit extra in fees, and just go through and make sure you're choosing those when you're quoting your ticket, so you know exactly what you're going to be charged. I pack really light, and I have a bag that specifically meets this criteria, so I can get away with that. And then I just bring my backpack as a small personal item. This usually goes under your seat, and I can get away with not paying for baggage, which is nice. So anyway, you can do $425 round trip from LA to Paris nonstop on a brand new Boeing 787. Can't really beat that. And you can also save, another $30 if you pay with foreign currency and your credit card doesn't charge you